My name's Adam Husler. Today we're filming with Om. So this class is all for the kind of the white collar boxer, we'll call it. So someone that does a little bit of fight training, probably has relatively tight shoulders, a little bit of a weak mid back, and a slight hunch position. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Or at least try to. We're going to start in child's pose. So knees down, arms reaching out in front of you, nice and long. And now instead of collapsing, be a little bit more on your fingertips. Lift your head slightly. Wrap your armpits in. Engage those muscles underneath the armpits and actively push bum to heels. Allow the tops of the feet to push down into the floor and feel a slight expanse across your back. If you use a strong breath for your yoga practice, an ujjayi breath, now is a good time to turn it on. Slightly draw your belly in. Whatever narrative is playing in your head, turn it off. Take a few moments here. And in the way we're doing it right now, this should be an engaging pose. Feeling that expanse. Feel the muscles under the arms work. And then staying on your fingertips, start to walk your hands over to the right. Maybe still on the edge of the mat. Maybe you can take your hands off the mat. But keep your left buttocks pushing down on your left heel. If you can, take your left hand on top of the right hand and be on your fingertips on the right hand. So here you're finding lots of length in your left hand side, but you're finding some length in your right hand side. So you're not entirely squashing. Keep walking your right hand over millimetre by millimetre, but keep your bum connected to your heels or as close to as it can be. And if you get deeper, visibly, but it feels easier, come back to where you were less deep, but it felt harder. Breathe for 3. Left arm pretty much straight for 2. Then on 1, walk your hands towards the centre line. Walk your hands over to the opposite side. Take your right hand on top of the left hand. Ears still level with the biceps, head still off the floor. So again, right arm trying to be straight. Lots of length in the right, find some length in the left. And notice, is your body rotating? And if it is, rein it in. All we want here is a side stretch, not a twist, not a back bend. Stay there. Keep pushing your bum down. Keep walking your hands out as if your bum and hands are moving in different directions. One more full breath. And then walk yourself back to center. Come forward to a tabletop position. Take your left hand towards the center line. Extend your right arm up to the sky. Then take your right arm underneath that left arm, right shoulder to the floor, ideally in the center of the mat. If you need to move your bum forward to get your shoulder down, fine, but your right shoulder is definitely on the floor. Now your left arm is probably rebent. Straighten it out, walk the fingertips forward. Now, imagine your left arm as an extension of your side body. Walk your left hand slightly to the right as you wiggle your right shoulder underneath you more. So you're turning your chest towards a wall, your gaze towards the ceiling. Your left arm only moves to the right as an extension of the side body, not because you want to move the arm in itself. Hold there for 3. Wiggling that right shoulder underneath you deeper and deeper for 2. Increase the sensation for 1. Then ease yourself slowly back out. Unwind the arm, open it up, and then reset. Hand to the floor. Right hand to the center line. Left arm to the sky. Open up, left arm underneath that right shoulder down. Again, the right arm is probably bent. Re-straighten it. Walk your right hand to the left. Wiggle that shoulder underneath you a little bit deeper. Again, treat the right arm like an extension of the side body. Almost imagine you're kind of wringing out your spine here. On the inhale, find space. Exhale, use that space. Go a little bit further. As long as you can feel it, all good. Breathe for 3. Stay twisting and rotating for 2. Then on 1, slowly make your way out. Extend the arm back to the sky and release yourself down. Come to a tabletop position, index finger pointing forward. Lovely way to warm up the spine, a little cat-cow. As you inhale, turn your biceps forward, lift your bum, lift the chest. Drag your shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, do the opposite. Elbows out, chin to the chest, dome your back. Inhaling, biceps forward, chest opens, bum lifts. Exhaling, rippling back through. Inhaling, biceps forward, chest opens, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, rippling back through. One more time, opening up with control. Feel every muscle work. Spread your sit bones as you exhale. Ease yourself back. Curl your toes under, walk your hands slightly forward, make your way to your first downward dog. Get a little bit of movement going. Really begin to angle your bum relatively high, move your arms, your shoulders. Maybe just for this particular sequence, take your head through the arms. Get a little bit of shoulder opening, which is not something we would normally necessarily do in downward dog. Now stop. Turn your left foot out to about 45 degrees. Bend your right knee. Look underneath your left arm. Find a rotation. Keep the arms relatively strong. Lengthen out to the left-hand side of your body. And let's switch sides. Other foot turns out. Other knee bends. Over to the other side. Really push that right heel down. Breathe. 3, 2, and then on 1, back to center, come forward to plank, pause in plank. Release your body down to the floor. Interlace your hands behind your back, straighten your arms. Take the action of moving your upper arm bones apart as you lift your arms, your feet, nothing dramatic, but try and get the shoulders from here away from the ears. Lift your chest higher. And then release, push through the hands, downward dog. Check back in, come forward to plank again, pause in plank. Body to the floor, interlace your thumbs a non-habitual way around now. Lift your hands, feet, chest, don't worry about the height. Whatever works for you. But let your neck be an extension of the spine here for 3, 2, and 1. Release yourself down. Take your fingertips a little bit wider than the mat and level with your shoulders. Lift up. Let your belly button only just lift off the floor, just about. Now bring your elbows close, but keep the arms bent. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine you're actively pulling your belly button forward. So kind of like a little T-Rex shape here. Pull the chest forward, pull your shoulders down. Breathe for 3. This should be relatively strenuous. This is not a fun thing to do. For 2. And then on 1, slowly peel yourself back down. Push through your hands. Bum to the heels. Ease yourself to downward dog. Take your right leg up to the sky. Now, turn your leg, your chest, and your body to the right. So not seeing this as a hip opener, but more you're lengthening from your right wrist to your right ankle. You're lengthening your side body. Then step the right foot to the top of the mat. Draw your arms up to the sky. Take your left hand and left arm behind your head. Take your right hand towards your bum. Now, maybe you hold your shirt. Maybe that's all you can hold. Maybe you can hold your fingers, but hold whatever you can hold. You can use a strap or a towel if you want. Now, actively push your hands into the back. Bend your back knee just a tiny bit. And push your hands into the chest. Lift the chest up and over. So you're creating a mild back bend, but really targeting your mid and upper back. Breathing there for 4. Lift up and over for 3. For 2. Then on 1, gently ease yourself out. Take your hands to your heart. Inhale. Left elbow, right knee. Take a twist. Turn your chest towards your thumbs. Just the tip of the elbow on the knee. Now notice my back leg is kind of collapsing. Maybe lift your bum a little bit higher. Engage that back leg as if you are doing a standing pose. Take your gaze to the ceiling if that works for you. Twist a little bit deeper. Engage your back leg more. Hold for 2. Then on 1, take your hands down to the floor. Step yourself back to plank. Release your whole body down. Hands to the side like aeroplane wings. Lift your arms, chest, feet. Hold for 3. Lifting higher for 2. Feet fairly close. Then on one, release. Arms out in front of you. Do exactly the same. But lift the arm level with the ears if you can for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Push your bum to the heels. Make your way down to downward dog. Little walk out if you need. Left leg up. Lift up high. Open your hips, turn your chest. So lengthen through the side body again. Let the chest turn. Maybe look underneath the left arm. From the wrist all the way to the foot, you're lengthening and then you're stepping up. Inhaling crescent lunge, arms high. Right hand behind your back. Do whatever you did before. Find some kind of grip. Create as close to a fist as you can. Push that into the back. Softly bend your back knee. Lift your chest up and over. Thinking more high jump than limber. Up and over rather than down and back. Breathe for 3. Chin away from the chest for 2. Then on 1, back to center. Take your hands to the heart. Inhale. Right elbow, left knee. And tip of the elbow, tip of the knee. So use the rules of physics. The longer your lever, the more leverage you have. The more you can now twist. Make sure your back leg's doing something and engaged. Turning your chest further. In theory, your thumbs are forearm distance away from your chest. And your chest ends up forearm distance away from your knees. Hold for 3. Neck long for 2. Then on 1, release your hands down to the floor. Step yourself back to plank. Release your body down. Hands to the side. Hands, chest, feet lift. Lift the arms high. Lift the chest high if you can for 3, 2. Release. Bum back. Coming to extended puppy pose now, this is called. It's important here that your bum stays above your knees. It won't want to, but let it. Arms out. Bum pretty much above your knees. Start to work your chest to the floor. Maybe this is where you stop. Maybe you go deeper, maybe your chest is down. But your bum just wants to do this. Don't let it. Only look forward if your chest is completely on the floor. Breathing into it. The next few poses we're spending some time in. Make sure you can feel it in that mid-back. For most of you, probably quite a tight part of the body. 3 more full breaths. Deeper and deeper, millimeter by millimeter. Slide yourself forward. Come to your belly. Take your elbows underneath your shoulders, like a sphinx position. Get a tiny bit grippy with the fingertips. And then actively pull your chest forward. Imagine that if the mat was slippier, your pubic area will be pulling towards the top of the mat. So you're pulling yourself forward as you pull your shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even lift your knees. Try and drag your belly button forward. Shoulders down for 3. Less here. Hold for 2. And release. Take your hands now underneath the groin. This is the hard bit. Palms down. Most of us are actually far weaker in the back chain than we would like to admit. So your hands are underneath your groin, your palms facing down. Your hip bones are, in a sense, on your forearms. Lift your left leg up. Maybe a millimeter, maybe higher, but keep your hip bone pretty much touching the forearm. Hold for 3. Breathe for 2. Chin down still for 1. Release. Other side. It doesn't need to be high. But lift the other leg. High enough to feel it. But forearm and hip bone still connected for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Maybe take your hands a little bit tighter. 2 options to lift up just a little bit. Or if you can, lift up to your max. Your max might be significant, it might not be. I'm not going to speak here. Prepare yourself. Now inhale, lift both feet, maybe a millimeter, maybe higher. For 3, hands pushing into the floor. For 2, and 1, release yourself down. Unwind your arms, have a little wiggle out of your hips. And extend your left arm directly to the side. And walk your left hand 1 inch forward. Move your hips physically to the right. So your groin is almost on the edge of the mat. Left ear to the floor. Bend your right knee. Take your right leg over towards the left. Find a rotation. Hopefully here, getting into the pec minor. Make sure the angle between your left arm and your body stays pretty much 90 degrees. If you can't feel much, draw your left knee a little bit closer to the chest, maybe wiggling your bum to make that happen. If you feel very good, soles of the feet to the floor. Wherever you want to go. Spend as much time here as you would like. This is a lovely one to do after a heavy bag session. You can even do the equivalent thing on a wall. Exploring the angles with the arm. It gets into different parts of the chest. Bring yourself back to center slowly. Be mindful as you come out. Extend your right arm out. And again, extend your right arm slightly forward, an inch maybe. Physically move your groin to the other side. Lift your left leg up. Take it over. It could just be there. You could go more extravagant. Once you're in it, maybe you have a little wiggle. Maybe the right knee draws high. Maybe you push through the left hand. All options. But again, feeling it mainly across the upper chest, potentially in the hips, the spine, etc. as well. Keep rotating. Breathing into where you feel it. And make sure you can feel it, as with everything we do. Hold for 3. 2. And 1. Slowly ease yourself up. Push up. Come to a seated position. Take the feet out in front of you. Shuffle your bum forward. Release your body down. Hands to the side. Feet pretty much hip distance apart. Maybe slightly less. Lift yourself up. Maybe lift high, maybe interlace the hands, wiggle your shoulders under, drawing your chest towards your chin. Lift high if you want, hands actively pushing down. Hold for 4. For 3, lift higher for 2. For 1, hands to the side, release. Option 1, do the same thing, but interlace your hands the other way around. Option 2, arms above your head. If you're feeling extravagant and you know you can take it, wheel, lifting everything off the floor. Otherwise, lift up, lift high, hold there. Gradually transferring more and more weight high up into your shoulders. Wherever you are, hold for 5, for 4, 3, 2, tiptoes. Roll down slowly. Hug your knee into the chest. Head stays on the floor, knees just drawing in. And then rock yourself up to a seated position. Sit nice and tall. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Also your right leg out in front of you. Draw your left knee in. A little twist. Take your left hand. Push your left leg over to the side. It's not going to stay there, but for now it is. Take your right elbow to the leg. Left hand behind you on your fingertips, maybe lifting higher. Then let your left knee come back to the center line, then start to twist, then start to rotate. Shoulders away from the ears, right leg engaged, looking backwards rather than down and backwards. Use your left hand to sit tall as much as you need, but as less as you can. 3, 2, for 1, inhale, as fluidly as you can, straight to the opposite side, leg draws in, and get your grip, find your twist, let the right leg move back to the center line. Your arm is almost fighting your leg and your leg is slightly winning. Shoulder away from the ears. Sit as tall as you can, for 3, for 2, and then on 1, back to center. Sit tall, cross your legs briefly, and take a very passive fold forward. One more little opening pose. Now, if you have a block, use a block or a very thin cushion, a book, if not else. So, this book here, what's it called? Starling, The Court of the Red Star. Perfect. Why not go for this? So, that's down the center line. And you're simply going to just take your feet into a very loose Baddha Konasana. Take the book near your upper back. Head to the floor, let the knees drift apart. The higher and slimmer the book or whatever you're on in, the better. The more you can open the chest, the more perfect it will be. But I would say stay there. Nothing too active happening, you're more just passively releasing. So the feet are in a position that you could hold for half an hour. You could fall asleep here. And that's what I'm going to suggest you do. Stay here for as long as you want. Let the chest open. Pretty much the opposite thing to what we do with our daily lives. Thanks everyone. Have a great evening. Have a great day.